Got it. Thank you.
Awesome. So I am going to introduce you guys to mine, Katrina, and Mindy's, and Maddie's, and any of you guys who are pushing for Star Diamond ranks. Sydney, who is our corporate mentor. She is here in the West region. She's phenomenal, you guys. Like I've been working with her 2.5 years now. Almost, someone's not good. Mute yourselves, please. Getting lots of feedback. Like she just always encourages me and pushes me to challenge myself, and she never allows me to settle. She'll also, once you advance your business and start working at a higher rank, she'll break it down and like say, okay, like let's draw up your organization. Let's look at your left leg, right leg. Let's talk about placement and how you can maximize your income. And I'd never had a corporate mentor do that for me. So that is very, very, very critical. And again, you don't know what you don't know. So I wasn't asking for that. Right. And now that I know, like when we get on the call, I know what to ask for. So I could go on and on about how many amazing things she does for our company and how much value she's added to my life. And, just really encouraging us as leaders and celebrating us. She was actually the person who pushed to get me as a speaker at Leadership this year. She's also asked, me to be a part of some other opportunities that I would have never had she had not given me those. So I'm so grateful she's taking time for us. So I'm going to mute myself and let her take over.
God, seriously, thank you so much. Like I'm gonna cry over here just for my introduction. But yeah, I am so freaking excited to talk to you guys today. And what we're gonna kind of talk about and go around. Yeah, if you would put yourself on mute, that would help a ton. But I definitely want to be able to make sure I answer all your questions. So I want you guys to ask questions too, and we'll kind of do a Q&A at the end. So definitely, like, you can put them in the chat. We can take yourselves off mute, definitely, because I want you guys to ask me some stuff, right? But what I decided to do today is I've been with Beachbody for about 4.5 years. And so I kind of wanted to take everything I've learned in 4.5 years and break it down to 3 simple steps for Beachbody. 3 simple steps to be a successful coach. So what I'm also going to do is I'm going to write my Instagram handle in the feed and how to find me on Facebook. Either way, because I'm going to do some call to actions and some fun swag. So I want you guys to tag me in some stuff, because I definitely want to, this isn't going to be like the last time you hear from me, right? Like I want to make sure that we have a relationship, that we're interactive. So make sure you guys add me. And like I said, we're definitely going to be tagging. I want you to tag me some stuff. I'm going to have you send me some stuff. But anyways, let's get to, so I narrowed it down to 3 tips. And how I've got these tips is obviously working in the business for 4.5 years, but working with some of the best of the best. I mean, you have an incredible upline, Melissa, love Katrina, like you guys are with an amazing team. And I've been so privileged to be able to work with this team. And I've been so privileged to be able to work with Emily Favre when she went from Diamond to Superstar in like 6 months, like Amy Rada, Mandy Kai, Ashley Mosed. Like I've been able to work with a lot of these top coaches. So when I've taken down broke it down to some steps, like they're good, okay? And I will say this with the steps as well, is they're very simple. You've heard of them. I guarantee Melissa's probably told you about these steps and told you what to do with these steps. But I just kind of want to tell you like my version almost of them, right? And how important I think they are. Are you ready? Yes. Okay, perfect. Let's go. So step number 1 to be a very successful coach is you have to hit Success Club. Okay. And again, I see some of you guys' looks and you're like, oh my gosh, if I heard the word Success Club one more time, I might puke. But Success Club really is honestly like being a Beachbody coach. It's like the non-negotiable. It's like you are a Beachbody coach if you're hitting Success Club. Like that's what you need to start treating it as, right? But when I think about Success Club and I think about coaches hitting Success Club, I don't always just think of just a challenge pack transaction. I don't think just go out there and sell a whole bunch of challenge packs. I kind of look at it as value, right? What value are you adding to people who are following you, to your friends, your family, and everything along those lines? Like anyone who's following you, especially on social media, like what value are you offering? And so how I kind of thought about this and came to this kind of conclusion is one day I was scrolling through Instagram, right? We've all done that. And I went past like a fitness coach, and she was an online fitness coach, and her page was just like sucked me right in. You know, you go to those pages where you're just spending hours on this page, and I'm following now, and I'm like really scrolling through, and it was just full of before and afters, absolutely full with before and afters. And I'm like, oh my gosh, well, like, she's good. Like, she could make me look like this from this. Like, what is this person, you know? So I kept kind of following him and kept kind of just like keeping my eye on him. And I was learning so much from this person too, all this free value. She was teaching me about how to use cauliflower rice instead of regular rice. This was before the cauliflower rice was a big thing, right? She was teaching me makeup tips and tricks. She was teaching me how to drink. I love a glass of wine every once in a while. So she was telling me how, you know, the best time of day to drink a glass of wine for your body, all this stuff. She's teaching me all this stuff. So one day I was like, okay, I think I'm going to go. I think I'm going to look into this. So I went to her page, went to like her link tree, went to go sign up. And for a 12-week program, get ready, it was $900. $900. So I'm thinking to myself, whoa, whoa, whoa. And I backed out, right? I'm like, I'm not doing this. I work for Beachbody Corporate. I don't need this. So again, like a couple months went by, and she just kept popping up, and she was so consistent, and she kept telling me all this stuff that I'm going to get in her 12-week program too. And again, it was just tons of transformation. So finally one day I was like, that's it. $900, it's worth it to me. So I went to go sign up with this girl. And when I went to go like hit submit, putting my credit card information in and everything, it said, came back, and she's like, I'm so sorry. I only accept 20 clients a month. I'll put you on my waiting list for next month and check back in. That's when it like smacked me across the face of being like, okay, what are we doing wrong? Right? Because here's this person out there who's just giving pretty much what we're giving away, but she's charging $900 for her 12-week program. So I kind of like brought it into Beachbody a little bit, thinking of it. And I'm like, well, wait a second. We have all that too, but we just don't talk about it very much. We don't talk about the value behind a challenge pack. So I'm going to start there. And it's like, why can't we do this? Because you look at a challenge pack, and why can't we say, hey, I have a 12-week program for you? Definitely. I'd make everyone commit to me for 12 weeks, because think that's 3 months of retention of Shakeology. That's 3 months of them being committed to their health and fitness goals. It's not a quick fix, you know, that we always want people coming in for. And people usually fall off in the first 30 days, but it's like, let's get them to commit for 3 months. We could do that. One thing we absolutely have is a custom eating plan that's custom to you and your goals. Again, I don't hear a lot of coaches talk about how it's custom to you and your goals. And when I think about our eating plans, I'm like, it is custom. It's your calorie count. It's your macro count. It's your portion control. It's your grocery shopping list. It's some recipes. It's all of this stuff that we have in this eating plan. But usually what I hear people say is, who wants to join my challenge pack? Or who wants to join my boot camp or my challenge group, right? But I want to hear the specifics that goes behind it. That's just the food. On top of that, you have a custom workout plan that's custom to them and their goals. If they need to lose weight, you can help them with that. If they want to gain muscle, you can help them with that. If they have an injury, you can help them with that, right? And again, I don't hear a lot of people talking about it. Who wants to join my 6 weeks of the work group, which I love. And I would never say don't stop doing that, but you need to also make sure that you're like being accustomed to other people, you know, like if 6 weeks of the work's not everyone's thing, it's like, oh, I also have this program called Bar Plan, you know, like kind of talk about the tools in your tool belt. On top of that, right now, I'm still just talking about the challenge pack, guys. On top of that, you have this daily dose nutritional shake. This shake that's all your probiotics, your prebiotics, your vitamins. It helps with your digestive system. It helps with your cravings. You can use it as a meal replacement. Again, I hear a lot of people say, here's my chocolate salad, which I love, but you can still talk about, like, did you know my chocolate salad has your probiotics and your prebiotics and your vitamins and your minerals, and it could be a meal replacement and help your digestive, like, give me more, right? On top of that, you have the best thing that anyone can ever provide, and that is you. That is you to hold every single one of your people accountable. So next time you're talking about a challenge group or you know, a challenge pack and stuff like that, like, give me the meat behind it. I want to see what else you have to offer, because you just say my challenge group starts next week, who wants to join? That doesn't give me all the fills, right? But if you started really telling me like everything that includes of everything I just said, I guarantee it, you'll probably no longer get the price objection. There's no way. If you say, this is how much you're absolutely getting, and then they think $160 is too much, like that is so cheap, right? So cheap. So really like start up front with the value. And then from there, I think a Success Club is going to be so much easier to reach. And I also want you to look at Success Club. Like it's not, I have to help 3 people every single month. I want you to look at it as a coach, I help a minimum of 3 people every single month. That's what you do as a coach. I help a minimum of 3 people every single month. Like that needs to become more of like our language and our love language a little bit, that it's very simple. Helping 3 people a month really is simple. If you start adding the value and you start doing the invites, it will happen. I promise you. But make sure you're starting the value and adding the trust. Okay. Step number 1, you got to hit Success Club. So my first call to action, I'm going to have a call to action with each step. My first call to action is do that. I would love to see you guys starting to break down and adding the value, and you can put me, tag me, put me small, swipe me all the way over, but I just want to see and make sure I'm seeing your stories where you're adding the value. Now, I'm not saying in one day you go throw up all over your whole audience and tell them everything I just told you. Like sprinkle it a little bit. Like one day focus on the nutrition aspect of the nutrition compound, how you're bringing everyone in, and the nutritional advice and how you can get people started with that. Then the next day you can talk about more fitness, how it's custom to you and your goals. Like, yeah, you can talk about it here and there, but I really want to see the value behind it. Okay. Tag me. I want to see it. Love seeing them. Call to action number 1. Okay. So once you get really, really good at hitting Success Club, your second step is going to be, you have to get really good at recruiting. Okay. Really, really, really good at recruiting. And this is my first team call I've done for you guys, right, Melissa? Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought. I'm like, I hate if you guys have heard me before, but good. So it means I can kind of share my stories, because I just don't want you to hear my same stories over again. But when I think about recruiting, I think back to when I first started Beachbody. And like I said, it was about 4.5 years ago. And I started doing calls with all you incredible coaches. And all you coaches were like, just talking to me about the business a little bit and the ups and downs. And one of the things I noticed the most is all the coaches saying how hard it is to invite, how it's extremely hard to invite, more because it's like, it's awkward. I don't know the verbiage. Like, what if they tell me no? I'll do my invites tomorrow. It's like their least favorite thing to do in the business. Like I kept hearing about it over and over and over again. So I decided to do like this little case study of myself, of my own. And I went to my personal Facebook at the same time, my personal social media, and I started scrolling through all my friends. I'm like, I have to know a Beachbody coach, because before I became to corporate, I had no idea really about the network at all. I didn't know there was coaches. I knew a little bit about Beachbody because I bought my first program, Brazilian Butt Lift. I bought it from someone in the Home Depot parking lot, came home, put it in, push play, sat on my couch and drank a glass of wine. That was my first workout program. Like nailed it, right? So I didn't really know anything about it. And here I am like getting thrown into this community of amazing women. So I'm like, I have to know one person. So I went through my social media. I found one girl. And she was actually in my old industry with me. And so I reached out to her and I was like, hey, small world. I'm like, I work for Beachbody Corporate now. And I see that you're a Beachbody coach. Can I ask you, like, why did you never invite me to a challenge group, a sneak peek, or the coaching opportunity? And I'll never forget what she said, because honestly, to this day, like, still is kind of like a punch in the gut, right? And she goes, Sydney, why would I? She goes, I see you posting pictures of you all over social media, of you on your boat, and it doesn't really look like you physically need a transformation. And she said, and I also know that you do really well in our industry, so I know you don't need the income either. Like, I don't think you need the income. And so I kept talking to her for a little bit, and then I hung up the phone with her, and that's when it was like, it really set in, and I was like, wait a second. Why would you think it's okay to make this decision for me? Like, why did she look at me and make this decision for me? And it's like, who do you think you are almost, Who does this, I love her to death, but who did she think she was, like, looking at me and making a decision for me that I would absolutely not want this without even asking? Because what she didn't know, and what I would never, ever, ever in my life post on social media, is that I've struggled with an eating disorder for a really long time. and it's gotten really bad. And it's affected a lot of other things in my life dealing with this. But would I go to social media and talk about that? Like, no, I still wouldn't. I'll talk about it sometimes on team calls and stuff like that, but I would never like go public with it ever. And what she didn't know, and what I'd also never post on social media, is that I hated my old job so bad. I like seriously came home crying every single night. I hated it. But again, I didn't post it. So she decided to look at my highlight reel, because that's what social media is, right? It's your highlight reel. And she looked at that and she judged me, for better or for worse, whatever it is, but she looked at it and judged me. So when I think about inviting and recruiting, it's really deep into my heart, because it's like, this isn't your choice. And I truly believe we have this gift in our hand, and this isn't your choice, I feel like, to dictate who gets this opportunity. I think it needs to be set everywhere. I think you need to get out of your way and invite everybody to this. And it's not just people who are watching your stories or liking your pictures. It's like, no, any single person who is following you needs to be invited. And guess what? This is where like my tough love comes out a little bit. I don't care if they tell you no. I don't. I don't care if they tell you no. I don't care if they ghost you. I don't care, because at least they got to make their decision for themselves, right? And that's how you have to look at it when people say no to. It's nothing that you did wrong. You got to look at it as like, okay, great. Well, I'm glad you were able to make this decision. And, now you're watching me. You can come back to me anytime. And I think that's what's so beautiful about the inviting process. So my next call to action is, I want you guys to do this, and I want you guys to do it tonight, is I want you to make a list of 10 people. Okay, 10 people that you've scrolled past, 10 people that you thought maybe didn't need this. Maybe one of these 10 people are your aunt, and you feel, hey, if my aunt knows what she does and if what I do, and if she'd want this, she'd come ask. But you haven't actually invited because you don't want to feel awkward, right? So I really want you to get out of your way. I want you to make a list of 10. I want you to take a picture of your 10, send a picture of it to me tonight, and then give yourself 24 hours to go invite them. And then I want to know how it goes too. You have to keep me posted, because I've given this challenge out to quite a few teams, and I always get the messages back of, thank you. Yes, it worked. I got one person, or I didn't get anybody, but I opened up this line of communication. Or then I got one, like I told this story about 5 months ago, and it was like 2 weeks ago. She's like, after your challenge, 5 months ago, that girl came back and said yes to me today. So it's just so cool of how important the inviting is. And I think when it goes down to recruiting, that's how I want you to look at it. Okay, perfect. So step number 1, Success Club. Once you get really good at Success Club, you're going to go to recruiting. Once you get really good at recruiting, number 3 to be a successful Beachbody coach is how to get your PS coaches hitting Success Club, or to get your PS coaches to hitting Success Club. Right? The duplication, which is usually the hardest part. So I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this, but I will tell you this. It needs to be very simple. I kind of already spoke about it, but I'll say it again. It needs to be simple, right? What I would do if I had a discount coach or a challenger, my very first thing I would email back to them or message back to them as soon as they clicked purchase is I'd say, great, I'm so excited for you to be a part of my boot camp. My most successful challengers always has an accountability buddy to do this with them. Who's your buddy that you want to have sign up today exactly how you just did? So if they signed up with Barblend, they're finding one buddy to come do Barblend with them. Okay, I'll say it again. I've noticed my most successful challengers always has an accountability buddy to do this with them. Who's your buddy that you want to have sign up today exactly how you just did? Okay, now if it were a working coach, like someone signed up, they're a working coach, I'd pretty much say the same thing. Welcome to my team. Welcome to my team. As a coach, we help a minimum of 3 people every single month. Who's your first 3 people that you want to help this week? And in parentheses, I'd write friends and family is a great place to start. We need to get them inviting like their hot market. And if you say the minimum of 3, they're going to be like, okay, I have to go help 3 people. And as a coach, we help a minimum of 3 people. I think those are kind of some key words right there that at least gets them thinking on who their 3 people are. They don't need to go through, 45 days of training to figure that out, that Success Club is important. I think it starts from day 1. So my next call to action and my last one is I want to see you guys do it. It's January. It's almost February. This is our season as a Beachbody coach. This is people are saying, yes, you should be inviting more than you've ever invited before in your life because people are saying yes. And especially Cup right around the corner, I want you guys to do it. So my last call to action is for you guys to rank advance. So wherever you're at today, if you're a coach, it's to Emerald. If it's an Emerald to Diamond, if it's a Diamond, it's in Star Qual. I'll give you February 27th, a little over 4 weeks, 100% doable, especially with the team cut month, and especially because it's January and February. And you message me, you say you're on this call, I will go into the Utah Prize swag closet and send you a whole bunch of swag. Sound cool? A whole bunch of stuff that says Beachbody all over it. Yes, who's in? Yes, yes. So that's what I have for you guys today. Questions, thoughts?
You guys can feel free to unmute yourself. Do you have any questions for Sydney?
I just wanted to ask if I couldn't take notes because I was in the bathtub and now I'm driving Rashid to his game. Can someone post their notes in the team page for me on the things that we need to do? I listen, but I forget.
We'll do that for sure.
Cool. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, I mean, I'm very easily to be reached too. Yeah, questions. I love questions. Someone has to ask me something. It's like my favorite part of the call.
Okay, I have a question.
Go ahead.
I want to know like your most successful script when you invite someone that like you don't really know.
Great. And I don't really necessarily have a script. I kind of think about it of how would I want to be invited, right? I mean, I do have a lot of scripts, but I've never personally sent a script, so I can't give you a script. But I always look about it as how would I want to be invited? And I think a great invite is something also like, hey, I'm not sure. I want to be, okay, let me say this. I think connecting with people are huge. I think you need to make sure that you're doing more connections than you are doing invites, right? Like you're kind of building that funnel, right? So when you're ready to send the invite, I would say, just wanted to make sure I'm not sure if you saw it, but I'm starting my next boot camp next week. Just wanted to make sure that you know you're personally invited. Like I'd love to have you. Just wanted to make sure you saw it. Something along those lines. Because I look at a challenge group as, say you're having dinner at your house and you post on social media somewhere, dinner at my house tonight at 7. Say you post it on your stories or you post it on your page or whatever. Dinner at my house tonight at 7. Would you ever go to that? Probably not. But if that person reached out to you and said, hey, not sure you saw that, if you saw this, but I'm having dinner tonight at my house at 7 and I would love for you to come. Would you go? Probably, right? It's more, at least you're thinking about it more. So that's kind of what I think about an invite and an invite script too, is making sure you're adding those connections, you're really talking to people, you're building value other areas too. Like if you're really into makeup, talk about makeup. If you're into The Bachelor, go live on Mondays and talk about The Bachelor, you know, whatever you're kind of into, your kids, you know, like have something else that you're talking about besides Beachbody. So that's a great way to connect. And then invites, I would honestly just say, not sure if you saw this, but I'm starting my challenge group next week and I would absolutely love if you came and joined. What are your thoughts? Simple, straight to the point. Does that help? I want you to drive, but yeah, okay. And I'm like, don't get in a wreck. Any other questions? Oh, I'm not a coach yet. Yeah, I'm not a coach. We're not allowed to be coaches actually if you work at corporate.
She would totally crush it if she was though. Just saying.
Yes.
I have one question.
Oh, go ahead, Bailey.
Do you typically invite them to the coaching opportunity first, or do you invite them to a challenge group? I've seen some people that say always invite them to coaching because if they say no to the challenge group, you've just lost them coaching.
I think it's different for everyone. You got to really think about how you came in. If you came in for the business and you're like, I'm here for the business. I'm here to make a 6-figure income. Who wants to come make a 6-figure income with me? Then I would start with the business. Now, if you came in as a challenger and you really worked on, your transformation, and then you caught the Beachbody bug and you're like, oh, I get this now. Like now I want to do it, or people are starting to come with me. I'd probably go more of the challenge group route. I think, yes, you should probably be talking about both. But inviting wise, I mean, there's some top coaches that still just invite for challenge groups. And I think there's a very important place for challenge groups and being challengers, but also like there's a place for the business too. So I was kind of looking at yourself a little bit. What made you come in? Because it's true. I mean, you definitely attract people that you're alike. So I would start there.
Very helpful. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Anything else? Maddie, you're so cute. I'll see you in next week. Yeah, I'm going to new leadership next week. Which also, if you guys make that a huge goal, 1 star to get to new leadership conference, it is the best event we put on at Beachbody. 100% hands down the best. And I've been to all of them. So get to new leadership, like put that on your vision board. Actually get to 2 star. Get to 1 star so you can go to new leadership, get to 2 star, because that's when like the business really opens. Like that's when the business, like I will teach you how to double your income. I will sit down with you and teach you how to double your income once you get 2 star. And that's when it's really cool. I'll be there in 2021. Yes. Leah, I can't wait to see you there.
And honestly, guys, like really utilize Team Cup Month, because so many of you guys already have a solid action plan. It's just executing. And I know that we're like, okay, well, it's January, so I really want to walk the stage at Summit. So I have till then, like, I wouldn't give yourself that time. I would set some really serious, if you haven't already, like goals to make sure that you're like, okay, in Q1, this is my goal. Normally what I do is I set my goals around like, I know we have Success Club trip coming. So by Success Club, I want to be this, or I want to accomplish this. And then Summit and, leadership, all those things. So just don't give yourself that slack, because if you qualify in the first quarter, you're already there, right? And then we have the rest of the next quarter to push you to 2 star. And like Sydney's saying, and I know we talk about this all the time, but like rank is just the like the stepping stone, but where you really take your business to the next level and open up that financial steadiness and like income that I know so many of you are craving and desire, that's 2 star.
100%. 100%. 2 stars huge. And yeah, just so you guys notice too, for Summit, the cutoff to go into qual is August 30th, or not August 30th, April 30th, which is not very far away. Like it'll be here sooner than you know it. So if you have goals for Summit, you have to start qual that day. So make sure you guys get going on that.
Well, I don't want to take up any more of your guys' time. I want to say thank you guys for adjusting your schedules. It's kind of crazy. It's only 5:30 here on the West Coast for us. And Sid, for going at work to more questions, let me know. I'll get them to Sydney. Make sure you're tagging her in your stories. Make sure you take the things that she shared tonight, put them into place, because we can inspire you all day long and we can tell you the things to do, but unless you put them into action, it's like dead air. So
absolutely.
I love you guys. I hope you have an amazing evening. Thanks, Sid. We'll talk to you next week, guys.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Have a good night. Tag.